my honor to present to you very youthful, very dynamic Ramon del Rosario, President and CEO of PHINMA. Ramon. The youthful part is the one I like the best. Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me to join this distinguished panel and to speak on a topic that is both important and timely. I don't have a slide presentation, so you'll just have to listen to me. Before answering the question, what I think should be done to make CSR of greater interest to journalists, allow me to raise 2 points. First, media and news organizations are also themselves corporate entities. Thus, corporate social responsibility is appropriate for media organizations to engage in and not just to cover. In other words, CSR should not only be seen as something journalists should write about as they would politics or entertainment or crime. Rather, it is something the entire media organization itself must also carry out. Second, the common definition of CSR as a concept is that organizations have an obligation to consider the interests of customers, employees, shareholders, communities, and ecological factors in all aspects of their operation. However, more so in this country, I believe CSR must go beyond this. Beyond corporations setting up foundations or scholarships, or doing occasional tree planting, or treating customers and employees well. It must be about citizenship. Citizenship is being part of this society, of duties and obligations to its development and progress. In other words, social responsibility in our Philippines cannot just be auxiliary and relegated to a department. It must be part of who or what we are. It must be fundamental. It cannot just be about doing good work, but must be about making all our work do good. So what does corporate citizenship demand in the Philippines? What does anyone's citizenship demand? We live in a country beset with some very basic problems. Problems of feeding and housing our people, infant and child mortality, poverty-related disease, inequities and joblessness, miseducation and undereducation, the degradation of the environment, and much, much more. I believe citizenship requires that we all act to solve these problems through the roles we play and the jobs we do. Whether we are priests, students, business people, or journalists, it is our obligation to help alleviate these conditions. The same is true if we are an NGO or foundation, a news organization, or a corporation. To further elucidate, allow me to share the experience of my company, PHINMA. For the past 50 years, PHINMA built its name, reputation, and success in manufacturing, in particular of cement. Just about a decade ago, PHINMA owned and/or managed cement companies had almost 18 billion pesos in assets and sales of about 10 billion pesos. Through Bacnotan Consolidated Industries, the PHINMA Group had stakes in 4 cement plants while managing 2 other plants. Combined, these PHINMA-managed plants had a total annual finished mill capacity of 8.2 million metric tons of cement, about 50% of Philippine capacity. From cement to paper to roofing and coal, PHINMA produced the material used for many of these countries' roads, bridges, and skyscrapers. Not too long ago, we decided to mostly leave our legacy, manufacturing, and move into new territory, services, primarily those that every Filipino household needs: housing, power and electricity, finance, and education. Our mission today is to help build our nation through competitive and well-managed business enterprises that enable Filipinos to attain a better quality of life. With effective management as our distinctive edge, we aim to give Filipinos improved access to the essentials of a dignified life. This is PHINMA's mission, for this is what citizenship demands. Demands, we believe, of all of us. Our very businesses and strategies must make lives better. So this is my first remark to the topic of CSR and media. The news media must accept that you too are citizen journalists and as citizens through the practice of journalism, through your commentaries and news coverage, must also make the lives of Filipinos better. This now brings me to the topic at hand, media and corporate social responsibility. How can you journalists perform your responsibilities as citizens? Or how can you help us, corporations? These following answers assume that we are one in trying to make this country a better place. First, you can light the way. News organizations can help identify what are the most important issues and why these are important. Many times, corporations caught up in their own businesses are not cognizant of what are the most pressing problems. With so much that can be done, helping companies identify where they can be of most help is an important first step. Second, you can deepen the understanding of the issues. Deforestation is not just about too many trees being cut. It is also about poverty and unemployment in the rural areas, weak agricultural development, and corruption. The decline of the education system is not just about the lack of classrooms. It is also about teacher quality and teacher education institutions, budget concerns, and wrong policies. The solutions to any and all of these problems need an appreciation of their complexities. Helping businesses understand these and identify how they may contribute the most to a solution is a succeeding step. Finally, you can help sustain attention until these problems are solved. Many of our troubles are so basic that the solutions will take time and a lot of persistence. Part of the difficulty is that attention and focus are here today, gone tomorrow, while the problems linger on. Continuous coverage will help sustain attention and encourage perseverance. In other words, the work of CSR is advanced not by covering the activities of corporations, but by covering the key areas or concerns that are significant to us. Coverage is improved when journalists do the job and perform well the role they are supposed to. This role, I believe, is to write about, dissect, and analyze areas important to our development. For example, when newspapers write about the state of education, you are actually helping Philippine Business for Education in its campaign to improve the quality of Philippine education. When documentaries are made about deforestation and watershed depletion, the cause of Bantay Kalikasan and La Mesa Dam are furthered. And when editorials are written about manipulated bids or ghost contractors, you are fighting the same battles as the Coalition Against Corruption. Boston College's Center for Corporate Citizenship lists 4 core principles that define the essence of corporate citizenship. These are, number 1, minimize harm. Number 2, maximize benefit. Number 3, be accountable and responsive to key stakeholders. And number 4, support strong financial results. The last item refers to a corporation's profitability. The center posits that the responsibility of a company to return a profit to shareholders must always be.
Thank you so much, Ramon del Rosario, reminding us all that whether you're a captain of business or a business reporter, we're all Filipinos and have a responsibility to this nation.